Do you guys notice anything different about me today?
This is Auto Collabs.
Did you
You shaved.
hot comb your beard?
I trimmed my beard.
You trimmed your beard. I see it.
The coolest part about this hat, I still can't remember the name of it, is that the two of you have a matching one. And we got these in Kazakhstan. Not that this is made. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we
Not only do you have them,
you didn't even know.
but you have them handy. And the foxtail on the back. Well, this is a fox. Our friends in Kazakhstan bought us these on the way home. We made them home in one piece. And it's just a subtle reminder that I wear every day of the fun that we had together. My wife's getting a little sick of it, though.
Yeah.
Is she really? My wife loved it. And
No, my wife.
I'm going
loves
to
it.
wear mine to the side like this, like the what's her name from Napoleon Dynamite with
You
the
can-
side.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Y'all
she's
are
like, I'm
sideways,
selling these
literally.
boondoggles to go to college. And Kip's like, your mom goes to college.
I want to see Kyle segue out of this into our guest today.
No, well, try new things, meeting new people. I've never met today's guest. Kyle did.
No,
I've never
I
known.
met today's guest, and us COOs, we got to stick together, right? We're operational people, and so when
Yeah.
we get on a Google Meet together, we're like, I see you, I get it.
I love that.
And
for you.
I just knew like we needed to have a deeper conversation than even what he and I got to go into. So I can't
Mhm.
wait to kind of like dive into his story a bit more and understand where he comes from. So, hey, we hope you have a wonderful time hanging out with us and Adam today.
I can't wait for him to see my hat. I'm not going to wear this. That's stupid.
All right, Adam, thank you so much for joining us here on Auto Collabs today. We're excited to get into the convo.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, so you and I, the story goes, we swiped right on LinkedIn. It was great.
You can do that.
We had a date over Google Meet, and it was wonderful. But Adam and I immediately, it was very clear that we had so much similarity in our passion for the industry. I just want to thank you for reaching out and connecting. I think that in our industry or in any industry, like that first step of like, hey, look, there's someone else that I'm thinking I don't know what we're doing together, but we need to chat. I think that's such a cool place. I've met so many incredible people because someone took the initiative to go, I think we need to just talk. So first of all, thanks for that. But roll back, because I'd love for people to get to know you just a little bit in our community. Like roll back to getting in the industry and where you kind of like cut your teeth.
Yeah, so I started with the Van Horn Automotive Group 22 years ago. And before that, I was a teacher. I taught middle school and high school. So I went to college and decided that I didn't want to teach. Taught for 6 whole months. And then decided I
That
didn't
good,
want-
huh?
Yeah, it's that good. So through a connection, I ended up talking to the owner of the dealership at the time that I went to work for. So he said, hey, why don't you come work for me, sell cars? And at the time I thought, I'm going from this respected career of being a professional and a teacher, and I'm going to go into car sales. And I really went back and forth on it. And then, I looked at my checking account and decided I needed to do something. So
I think a lot of auto careers started that way.
I don't think this is right.
So I was looking at my checking account and
I make the leap, and I started in June, worked half a month, worked in July, and in July I set a record for the store.
What?
Made more money than I've made in 6 months of teaching, and I was hooked.
You're like, I think I might actually be able to pay off this college debt after all.
Yeah. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, wow, this is actually could be something more than just a summer gig. So the guy that I work for, great guy. And at the time he had one location, and I could see though that there was something, maybe in him that he wanted to keep growing. And he kind of included me in a lot of stuff that maybe was way above my head. And as we started to grow, it was very evident. He'd bring me to meetings where we're doing acquisitions, and I'm just praying that nobody asked me any questions in that room.
Yeah, you're like, any moment they're gonna realize it's me in this room, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm just trying to like hide as much as I can and not make eye contact. So I sold cars for 4 years, which I think in this day and age, people want to advance quicker in the business. 4 years is a long time.
Mhm.
So I learned a lot though. And then I made my way through the ranks as we grew. So we grew slow at first, but then all of a sudden we just had rapid growth. I think in 18 months, we did 8 acquisitions. So we added a ton, and we went from 1 all the way up to 18. We went from having 25 employees to having over 800.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I was with the organization through this whole big change. And the other thing that we went through was in 2018, he wanted to get out. So he had no real plan and no family to take over. So he sold it to the employees. So I was on the board of directors during that time and learned a ton about what it means to go from being a privately held company to being an ESOP, being an employee-owned company.
Mm.
So I was on the board during that whole time, worked through that transition. It's not just an ownership transition, it's a whole cultural shift within the organization. So,
Mhm.
my path was really big. And the reason I reached out to Kyle was number one, I really like the movement in the industry now about collaborating and sharing things, because where I came from, you didn't do that, right? Like in the early days, you protected your territory. You didn't tell anybody anything. You didn't share anything. And the industry is moving more towards collaboration, as well as, my story in growing through the dealership is what I shared with Kyle. So I'll give you kind of a snippet of it. When I became a general manager, the owner called me up to his office and he said, okay, today's the day, you're the general manager, how you want to run this place. And I said, I I see an opportunity to sell more new cars, but I think the path to do it is to really pay attention to each person and like try to really, and I use the word, try to love each person that comes through the door. And I didn't really know what that meant at the time. I just kind of had this concept of, if I really pay attention to each one and care about what they want to do each time, maybe we can build this reputation. And he just looked at me like real serious and he goes, that's really cute, but what are you going to do?
I know that response. I've gotten that response several times in my life.
Yeah, like he wanted a tactic, not just like
He's like,
concept.
"Aw." Right.
So I looked, we talked about it and I go, I think, Chuck, I think this is what I can do. And he had a faith in me enough to let me do it. And it ultimately became the culture of the group. So we moved to that culture and we moved dealerships away from the old school ways and moved them into a model of really caring about the guest experience. And that's still how the group functions. So
Well, can we dive into that for a second?
with Kyle.
Yeah, there's a few things we got to unpack here, Paul.
Yeah, there's
I've got
a lot.
so many questions. So you just get yourself situated, okay?
There's a lot in there. Okay. When you said we made it a part of the culture, right? That's a really broad blanket statement. And I think this is why a lot of people struggle with thinking of things this way. When we say love people more than cars, when we say focused on the guest experience, it's so broad that often people don't have a starting point or an ending point or markers along the way. How did you take it from saying that in that conversation to the point where you're like, it's actually a part of the dealership culture now? What are the markers within there and the strategic change points that you could point out? Obviously it's complicated, but like, what are some of the basics that a listener today would be like, I understand, focus on this type of thing?
What it comes down to is you can't focus on the normal metrics that everybody wants to look at. Like you can look at CSI and there's a way to game CSI.
Absolutely.
You can look at Google reviews. There's a way to game Google reviews. You really have to just get everybody's mind wrapped around creating this atmosphere of the guest experience. And it means something different to everybody, but it also is creating process around it as well.
Mhm.
So monitoring, it's all the little touch points of what you want to do. So when the customer arrives at the dealership, it's simple things. It's nothing this big grand plan, right? It's simple little touch points of, hey guys, when somebody is coming to the door, you have to get up out of your chair and greet them.
Oh, see
Somebody
now we
walks
got
in.
That's more relevant than you realize.
See, you don't even know. I'm gonna yell at the screen right now because that's right.
Like everybody look up when somebody comes in the dealership.
Ah,
Dude.
okay.
Wait,
Tell
was
him
he on
why.
this
Tell
trip?
him why
You
Kyle's
tell him,
freaking out.
Michael. Tell him, Michael.
Were you in Kazakhstan with us recently?
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm wondering.
Adam, we got to tell you, one of the things that impressed us so much, we toured what, guys, 25, 30 dealerships in a
Sure.
day? It was an insane amount of dealerships that we went into. It did not matter what brand or OEM, from Kia to one of the Chinese manufacturers we don't have here yet. Every time we walked into a dealership, a well-dressed, well-groomed individual would stand up at the guests like the Ritz-Carlton, welcome us in, ask how they could direct us, where we could direct us, the environment, everything was, I wrote down and underlined what you said here. You said guest experience, and I can't tell you how much that's been on our mind to feel like a guest, not customer experience, like guest experience.
Not an interruption.
Not an interruption. That every dealership we went into in Kazakhstan, we were like, what is going away? I feel so loved.
So I tried to give everybody like little things that would make big effect. So like one of them was, everybody calls and confirms an appointment, right? So you can call in and go, hey, I'm confirming your appointment. You're going to be here at this time. Now, the customer most of the time is just going to say yes, even if they're coming or not. But if you change that and you send them an email or a text or a call and you say, hey, Paul, I'm calling to see what you would like to drink and if you want a snack when you arrive at the dealership.
Come on.
That changes the experience drastically. Everybody has coffee, everybody has water, everybody has soda, everybody has snacks. But if I call you and I ask you what you would like and then I prepare it for you and I go, hey, Paul, welcome. Come on over. I got your soda and your snacks ready to go. Come on over and have a seat. And I've got everything lined up for your kids too.
It's just the three of us going.
Well, yeah. Will your kids be joining you? Can I prepare some games or some art things for them? Like,
so we worked on all these little things, right? Like all the little aspects is changing the culture of what you're doing. It's not, and it's time, right? Like, are we?
You know what's interesting?
Something that's never done. You're constantly doing it, and you're constantly working.
Not one time yet have you said the words digital retailing, omni-channel, CDP, one-to-one message. You haven't said that yet. Why are?
Well, because it's about when the customer arrives, right?
Yeah.
Like all that other stuff it's a tactic to get them to the dealership. But if you want to retain that person, the show is when they arrive. And that's when you have to create what you want to, what your culture is what you have to deliver when they arrive at the door.
See,
well, thanks for
but
joining
here's why we can't talk. Here's why we're struggling. This is why. You guys know Steve C on LinkedIn. You ever seen this guy, Adam?
Who is it?
I can't even say his last name. His first name is Steve. His last name is Chakowski, whatever.
He's got a bunch of.
If you don't know him, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the backstory. The backstory is he's got two big things he talks about every single place. He's like, when you talk about marketing, you got to include the sign out front because that's part of the budget. It's telling your name. It's saying come to me. Nobody includes that. The other big thing he harps on is he says, why do people keep saying experience? Experience. It's just a blank word. And what you just transitioned for me and for us, and what we've been like trying to find the words for since we went to Kazakhstan is this like, it's a level of hospitality that we haven't been willing to talk about, the level of like training, intention, like what are the brass tacks about experience then contribute to a broader culture? Because my guess is that when you start doing like that first thing, which is greet them at the door, then the next thing, and it's like when you call to confirm the appointment, do this. By the time you get to thing 4, 5, or 6 that are similar in line with that, you don't have to actually train number 7, 8, 9, and 10. They just become natural to the environment.
You know, it's another thing is just the belief that most every customer that arrives at your dealership, they intend to buy when they get to that point.
Yes.
And if you have that belief that everybody intends to buy when they get there, and it's all about creating the right experience for them to purchase, that's just another mindset shift of, I need to listen and create the experience that they want when they're here. And if I do that, I have a really good chance of them purchasing the car. And then I have a good chance of retaining them as a customer.
And then telling how amazing it was because you surprised them when they expected one thing, they got another thing.
Yes. Yeah. And there's something weird to me always about the way the automotive industry has worked, about everything being so secretive. When the customer sits down, you know, in my mind, I always just want to ask the customer, how would you like to purchase the car today? I don't need to like beat around the bush about, are you here? You know, at the end, surprise them with a purchase proposal. They should just tell me how they might go, you know, we're just looking today. Okay, great. How much time do you have to work with us today? I've got 2 hours. Okay, I want to respect your time.
Oh, that's a great question.
Let's get as much done as we can in 2 hours.
So how did you go ahead? I'm sorry.
When you roll through those things, sometimes people go, this has been really great. Let's just get this done and over with and purchase the car today.
Yeah.
Like, how did you operationalize some of these things? Like, did you have scripts, just training in general? Like, did you lay down the gauntlet and say, this is the way we will do it? Or
so we built out a whole we built out this whole guest experience process that started, it started differently from the moment that people arrived. And we built it at one location, and then we just rolled it out one by one and what that looked like. And it was not only how the interactions went and we train on those interactions, but then also what the follow-up looked like. So we created a different follow-up for people in that location. So I shot a video. You know, we have 18 rooftops, and you can imagine how many visits we're getting. I shot a video, and I would give them my personal cell phone and my email address in that video. So we would text them the video or email out the video. And if they didn't purchase, it was asking them how their experience was and asking them, please provide feedback about what your experience was. Now, there's 2 great things about that. Number one, it's kind of an accountability measure for your people in the store. The other aspect of it is you get honest feedback from people. And if you create a culture of, nobody's in trouble. I want the feedback because all we're looking to do is improve. So you give me the feedback, we're going to talk about it, but we're going to talk about how we're going to use that feedback to improve what we're doing. And you constantly create that. Number one, at first you're going to get some messages, right? But slowly over time, those messages just go down. Or you get messages that the other half of it is, I would get text messages or calls daily where people would be talking about how great it was and how much, even when they didn't buy a car, they wanted to just reach out and say, I had the best experience. We didn't make a decision yet, but I want to let you know this person were great. Well, then I would take the time, shoot them an email, say, hey, I got this message from your customer. Thanks a lot. They said everything was awesome. And you just reinforce that over and over and over again. And was it perfect? No, nobody's ever perfect, right?
You got humans in the room.
You're just working on creating that type of atmosphere where the mentality is make it hard for them not to make a decision, right? Like make them not want to walk away because they know what the other guy's going to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we just transfer all of this into. It's just so odd that we have somebody that we didn't know, or I didn't know prior to the show, that is just saying all the same things that we think and feel every day. And that question of like, I wonder if there's anyone else out there. You're just like proving the thesis that we always talk about. There are a lot of people who believe this that just don't know each other exist yet.
The one thing I want to double click on before we get out of here is there are so many groups right now that are finding success through scaling, through purchase, through acquisition, consolidation. But a lot of that success is just like bottom line success, acquire net new revenue by buying it. But you said like from going to 1 to 18, you were able to scale the culture as well. Especially in that 18-month timeline, what were some of the intentional decisions that you had to make, or the steps that you had to take to make sure you didn't lose that along the way? You've kind of given us a few of those clear things, but especially in a tight timeline, 8 stores, 18 months, you could really get lost in just like, whoa, that's a lot of people, and there they go, and there's some revenue, and what's the timeline and what are the intentional steps that you took along the way to make sure that that culture got scaled and didn't just like get lost as so many people came in?
Yeah. So for us, we ran as a group. Some dealer groups don't run as they're a group, but everybody runs their own location. We ran as a group. And the benefits of running as a group are you have a lot of supporting cast as far as, you've got a BDC that is taking all the incoming to create the experience. You've got a cast of people that train. You've got all these resources because you're able to save in other ways. You don't have a title person and a controller in every location. No structure is ever going to save you the overall spend. It's just how you spend your money. So we had people when we would acquire a store, we had a process and a team. So we would go in, we had an interview process for every person in the dealership. And this is maybe one of the areas that is not so friendly, but if you didn't fit, we knew, and we just parted ways with you right away. We had a process to come in and go,
you're not going to be a culture fit.
You're not a culture fit. You're not going to be right for this. And then that was it. And we also built, every time we'd go into an acquisition, we relatively had the leadership team for that store built. So we would be heavy in employees in one area. They knew our culture. They knew what to expect. They would be the leaders in the location. So when we would go in one after another, we're not bringing on or getting to know the upper level people. We'd bring them in, and that was the way we would duplicate one after another because they knew
I think that some people would look at that and be like, oh, that's so harsh to go in and operate in that way. But I think what it is that it's actually the most loving thing that you could do for those people that maybe weren't a culture fit, because there would constantly be a rub. They would feel out of place. You would feel they're out of place. It'd be constantly a struggle and a fight. It's actually the most loving thing to say, you know what, I think you need to find employment elsewhere. That's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, but that's a big deal. It's a big culture protector, We've
done it the other way. And to be honest, it's just a slow exit versus a quick exit. They learn and you learn that it's not a fit. And if you just kind of, you come to grips with it right away, it's easier on both parties.
I know this is going to be the first of many times we get to spend some time together, whether that's on podcast. I can't wait to meet in person, and hopefully we can get you out to ASOTUCon in May. That would be amazing too, to have you meet some of the other people that you may or may not know, believe the same things that you do. Adam, it's been a real pleasure to talk with you and get to know you for the first time, for me anyway, live here. Thank you for joining us on Auto Collabs.
It was great. Thank you, guys.
Okay, I love it how I wish I had the hat on, because when he mentioned standing up when people walk into a dealership, we didn't get to talk about it much in the episode. We talked about it a little bit, but one of the most impactful things for us was one of the very basics of hospitality. When we walked in these dealerships, they stood up. It was so impactful. We talked about it a little bit in the show, but I don't think I can talk about how that made us feel and how they thought it was normal when we brought it out there.
Everyone there was like, well, yeah, of course they did. Why
And that's
wouldn't
something
they?
that
You entered their
regardless,
space. Yeah.
every single dealership can do right now. But really the
Right
question
now.
is, will you do it? And hospitality, the differences in hospitality always come out in the smallest things, period. End of story.
Yeah.
Here's a small thing that it was one of the first things he told a story about approaching his leader at the auto group and saying, hey, here's some changes we have to make. And we kind of glossed over it. There was so much to unpack in his first, dialogue. What I wrote down is, so he tells a story about his leader, and his leader's like, okay, I hear what you're saying. And what I took from that is sometimes the leader may not have the full vision, but they may have faith in you to round out the vision.
Yeah.
And I wrote faith in you because I was like, actually, this is, for those that maybe heard it and said, see, that typical car dealer owner who didn't see the path to revenue. Actually, what I took from it is, but the owner was like, but I have faith in you to go and try this thing and it's going to go work out. That doesn't mean
there's nothing better
and all that, but
there's literally, I can say this as a leader, there's nothing better for a leader to have a member of their team that they trust with a vision and not a specific thing, knowing that that person and their gifts and their talents and their abilities will come back with a version of the vision that's better or beyond
more refined and
what you thought even the vision was. Like, I can't think of a
even
better
for an
quality
employee to have a vision, to be like, no,
period.
Trust me, I have a vision for this.
I think this can be better.
I got to
think
tell
it
you
can be
one other
greater
thing
than-
that stood out to me from this call, and I don't know why it hasn't hit me yet. The three of us have been doing this now for how many years? I don't know, 2 years, let's say.
More.
Almost 4 now.
Okay.
Nice try, though.
Has it been almost 4 years?
than you
we've been doing
thought.
this show?
Yeah, the first episode was in Philly live. We
Oh
recorded
my
it in Philly
gosh, you're right.
before
That's
the first
crazy.
ASOTU, and we're on number 5 this year. It's okay.
I'm
You
good,
immigrated from
guys.
Canada to America in that time.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Nuts.
We often joke, right? Like, Paul, you and I joke when Kyle gets like super like nerdy and operational. We're like, yeah, here you
So
go.
every day, yes.
You know
okay.
what? You know what dawned on me though? Like we are. This hit me today when we were talking about all of this. That the three of us are incapable of approaching a conversation from our vantage point as a CEO, a COO, and a chief of staff. Like all of our questioning is either like very operational, very vision based, and very like. Tell me how you arrived on that. Like, what's going on in your heart?
That was okay. You just hit me with that. That just blew my mind right now.
That's called right seat on the bus for all
Right
of
seat
us.
on the bus.
We know we're doing something. Well, listen, we hope you had fun with us. We sure had a great time. If you couldn't tell, as always, thank you for listening to Auto Collabs. On behalf of Kyle, myself, and Michael Cirillo, who just thinks he's only been here for 2 years. We'll see you next time.
Time flies when you're having fun, boys.
Welcome to Auto Collabs. Why are we recording? Are we rolling yet?